Welcome fellas into this new video of TechExpress. Today let's check out and talk a little bit more about Google Firebase. So Firebase is Google Solutions. This is an all-in-one platform that acts you as a backend as a service, a BaaS. This allows you to build and ship high-quality application faster than ever before. So let's explain exactly what Firebase is. Basically, Firebase handles all the messy server infrastructure, security, scalability. This frees developers to focus purely into the front end user experience. This operates on a generous freemium model called the Spark plan. Let me explain this a little bit more, because this one means that you can launch, you can scale, and you can even monetize your application without paying an actual dime until you reach massive usage levels. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the essential Firebase products. For example, there is here the hub number one, the authentication. This is the easiest way to handle the user's login, for example. Something else, for example, that you can do is the Firebase authentication handles everything securely. For example, there's the Google sign-in, there's the Facebook, there's the Twitter, there's the email, there's even the phone number verification. And you can add a few line code and you can get fully secure user management instantly. That's right, instantly. So hub number two is the Firestore database. The database, for example, is the primary data storage. This is powerful, for example, because what you can do is what this actually is actually going to be really flexible. No SQL based database. Crucially, it's real time, meaning if one user updates data, every other connected user sees that it changes instantly without having to refresh the page, for example. Something else, for example, this is the hosting. So speaking about the hosting, if you're building a static web application, this is the easiest development option available, because the Firebase hosting provides fast, secure hosting with a global content delivery network and the free SSL certificate, which are essential for secure deployment, and is done with a single command line. And finally, there is the cloud messaging for push notification and analytics for tracking user behavior, rounding, let's say, out of a full stack tool set, right? So how to get started, how to get the setup. Usually, if you're ready to launch, the entire platform is managed through the Firebase console. If you hit into the option that says build and go to the build, you can see that here we have the Firebase AI login client SID, here's the gen, here's the data connect, the real-time database, and so much more. Let's say, for example, here have the build of the products. So you can choose which is the build product which you like to start with. For example, the extension, the cloud storage, the authentication, and app hosting, and app check, and so much more. So you click into the element that you would like to get started with, choose the option that says get started, and you just needed to sign in directly into your account to make this process much more faster. Inside the firebase.google.com, I'm going to go into the upper right corner that says go to the console. Here, and to go to the console, what I can do now is to make sure that I start with my first project, which in this case we can go for get started by setting up a Firebase project. So you can enter the name of your project. Let's say, for example, my awesome project, for example, let's go for TechExpress. I accept the terms and hit for continue. Once the project is created, you can go directly into the project settings, where you can find the unique initiation. And of course, to check out the SDK snippet, you needed to integrate into your application code. Before coding, of course, you wanted to make sure you enable the products you wanted to use. For example, the navigate to authentication, enable the signing providers, all of those elements, right? And you can see that actually it's not that hard to get started with the actual project. We are not going to be focusing a lot into how we can use each of these elements directly here into Firebase. We're going to be using, showing you how to actually get started with the actual Firebase and what you can actually do directly in here. Even Gemini. Gemini can be helping you, of course, to build an actual application. Let's say, for example, I would like to create an app, but I do not know how to get started in Firebase. Can you assist me? And of course, basically Gemini is going to be making you a few questions about what would you like to do directly with the Firebase project. So you have the run, the build section, the analytics, the AI elements, logic, and so much more. So basically this is how we can actually get started with these elements. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, guys. If you want to see more great tools how you can get started with the Firebase, there's so much more to cover, but this is just the beginning. So thank you once again for watching the video, guys. See you next time.